Good evening, everybody, and once again, welcome back to the channel. This is a developer guide which shows you how to get started with Flink and Hoodie running locally. This guide focuses on how to configure your local machine to run Hoodie and Flink. Just before we begin the installation guide, I have all the steps listed on the blog post. So in case if you miss out on anything, please make sure to check this particular guide out. Alright, so let's configure your local machine to work with Flink and Hoodie. So come to your terminal, and what we need to do is on the desktop, let's create a directory called my Flink /Hoodie, and then let's cd into this directory. Once that is done, now what we want to do is basically we want to create a virtual environment, and we need Python 3.8. So we're gonna say conda create -n. We're gonna give it a name, my Flink environment, and then pip python is equal to 3.8. These commands are available in case if you miss out on that. Okay, so let me paste this command. This will install, as you can see, this will install Python 3.8 on my machine. So if I can probably scroll here and say yes, and now as you can see, it's installing Python 3.8. So let me pause and resume once the installation is complete. Python 3.8 has been installed. And now what we will do is we will activate the environment, the virtual environment. So we're going to say conda activate the name of the environment, hit enter. And the virtual environment is now active. As you can see from this one over here, as you can see, that basically says that your virtual environment is ready to go. Now what we need to do is we need to install Flink, and specifically we need to install Flink version 1.17.1. This version is compatible. With the Python 3.8. Okay, so now hit enter. I'll again resume the video. Let's see what happened. I think error, invalid requirements. Okay, let's try again. Oh yeah, it's equal to. So let's do 1.17.1. and now Apache Flink will be installed. So let me pause the video and resume once the installation is complete. My Flink 1.17.1 is installed, and now what I'll do is I'm going to install Jupyter, and I'll say the command pip install Jupyter. My Jupyter has also installed, and now what we need to do is basically we have a virtual environment with Python 3.8 and Apache Flink 1.17.1. Now it's time we can start the Jupyter notebook. So on the terminal say Jupyter notebook. This will start the Jupyter notebook running locally. Now once the Jupyter notebook has started, you will be given an IPython notebook. So simply you can download the IPython or simply copy paste the command to try this out. Okay, so we can now start the notebook, right? And we can learn about Hoodie and Flink. You can run the shell. This will make sure that all the dependencies have been installed. I have all the dependency installed, and now we are ready to go. So you need 2 jar files, and the links are also given on the exercise. So make sure to download that. First, what we need to do is we're going to create a table environment, and we're going to create the table environment in the batch mode. You can create this in the streaming mode or the batch mode, but for the lab, we'll be using batch mode. So let's execute the shell. So the shell has been executed, as you can see. Now what we will do, we will load these 2 jar files. So I'm going to execute this shell. Now it's pretty easy, right? What we want to do is we're going to say create table. We're going to provide the columns and their appropriate data types, and then we're going to say connector to Hoodie, path, where do you want to create your Hoodie data lake, table type, either copy and write or merge on read. Okay, and here you can see this is the path to my Hoodie data lake. So I will simply execute this shell. Okay, and now you can start running simple SQL. So now I'm saying insert into the Hoodie table values. So I'm simply inserting bunch of values into the table. I'm going to execute this particular shell. So this will insert data into the Hoodie. And again, see how we are using simple SQL to do the job, right? So that's done. Okay, and now we can query this data. So I'm going to say, hey, select everything from this Hoodie table where UUID is equal to this. So this will give me some data points. Okay, so now let's scroll. As you can see, the data point over here. Now what we want to do is we want to update. Let's update the fare from $19.1 to $25. Again, simply you can start running SQL, update hoodie table, set fair value to 25.0, where UUID is equal to this, right? So I'm simply, doing an update, and then all I'm doing is saying table environment dot execute SQL. Simple as that, right? So I'm just executing a very simple SQL, and I was able to execute the SQL. And now if I query the same record, the fair price should be updated. So let's wait for this particular cell to complete. And let's go. And here you can see the fair value is now updated to 25. Great, right? So we are simply able to insert data, we are able to update data, and now last but not the least, let's delete everything from the table where city is Chennai. And if I execute that again, and then if I again run select star from hoodie table, all the records where city is Chennai will be gone over here. Okay, so now let's wait for this cell to complete. And it's done. And if you observe here, I do not see anywhere any records where the city is Chennai. So you have successfully learned how easily we were able to set up hoodie and Flink on your local machine and execute, insert, update and delete into your hoodie tables via Flink SQL. Thank you so much for watching the video. Hope you have enjoyed. All the resources and materials could be found on the resource section below. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.